here we go. Hello, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. You are watching Open. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking it all out. And it's a live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. So stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Now, leading things off, our first guests are local residents of the Spofford Avenue Apartment Buildings. And they join us to shed some light on some of the issues that they're having and some of the issues that they're facing with their landlord. You know how big that can be. And then unkept apartment units and how they are addressing these problems. So please welcome to the show, Deborah Wilson and Juan Reyes. Welcome, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having us.
Good morning.
So tell us about the situation.
Well, I'm a resident at 1202 Spofford Avenue, Hunts Point section. I've been a resident here along with my family for over 58 years.
Yeah.
So is Mr. Reyes, which I saw him from the time he was a child, along with my children. We've been facing quite a bit of problems with the upkeep of the building. Although the community has been, upcoming and kind of renovated somewhat, we remain with the same problems as far as the building is concerned for quite some time. We have a landlord, which is one of the worst landlords in New York City, Moshe Stahl, well known. He's got 70 buildings with the same problem. So we're here to share some of those problems that we are facing right now.
Yeah.
We're facing things like the boiler, heat and hot water, rodents and roaches, and so on and so forth.
And what are they doing about it at this point?
Well, we have an state community organization, Banana Kelly, who have been working with us diligently, and we've reached out to several departments, HPD also. We complained to 311, and we have, had some repairs, but they're always incomplete, left in the middle of nothing. We don't seem to get any response. There's no transparency with the landlord. So we have no other alternative than to call 311, at which point they come out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need some immediate help right there. That's black mold.
Yeah.
You got rodents walking. Wow.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is a constant thing. I mean, I've seen them climbing up the curtains, and, it's really an uncomfortable living, situation. One of the most important parts that, we've had some horrible winters, as we all know, and the boiler seems to be always on the brinks. It doesn't, either we don't have any oil, we go on for maybe 7 consecutive days without heat and hot water, and it's repetitive, living conditions, and we've tried to work with the landlord, and all we get is, we'll get to it, and this, that, and the other, and so on and so forth. Right now, this picture that you're seeing is a boiler. I had a boiler inspector come in, and he allowed me to videotape him and he showed me and explained to me how inadequate, how dangerous this boiler is. It's not secured, and because of that, they were cited with summonses. And till this day, this has not been repaired.
Juan, what do you see? What do you think we need to do?
First and foremost, I would like to say, like, everything she's saying is completely accurate, but it's a lot more than that. Like, we even have, what does it say? Not permanent with electricity coming to the building, but it's not underground. And Canada already said, hey, if you guys don't fix this, we're gonna shut off the electricity completely. Not only are the repairs not being done, they are also giving people outrageous leases or no lease at all. And the building that we are in is rent controlled, and yet they're still doing things that are illegal that they should not be doing. People are fighting. What we're doing right now, the entire building, we've come as a collective, and we're doing a rent strike.
Yeah.
Until they start giving people correct leases with the amount they're supposed to have, that's listed in DHCR. Like, we're finding out all this information and we're educating ourselves to let the other tenants know, like, hey, listen, what's going on? This should not be done. They should have things working properly. Your rent should be what it's supposed to be legally, not these outrageous numbers they give.
Increases.
People giving them, they're getting multiple people are getting multiple deposits being asked. They already pay a deposit. Why do they have to pay it under like $3,000 in a deposit when they already paid?
Yeah.
So it's like they're doing a whole bunch of sneaky things, and the reason why is because, yes, our building does have a lot of immigrants and people that don't speak English, so they're trying to get over on them. So myself and Deborah, we're New York based. We took the lead, saying, no, we can't let this happen to them, because if we let this happen to them, what's going to happen to us?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So why do you think the landlord is holding everything up? Why is he doing this?
I believe it's his way of trying to force people out, so that way he can do whatever he wants with the building, because people are paying outrageous amounts, and I think he wants to continuously up it, like charge people more money.
We've had, you mind me interrupting, we've had working with Bronx State Services, who are now in the process of filing for a rent decrease. And we've had the rent decreased in some of the units. Unfortunately, these people are overriding the decision from DHNCR and actually, like Juan said, overcharged, requesting a deposit along with the lease renewal. And this is an ongoing thing. We recently found out that September of 22, the building was not registered, although they kept coming in and, you know, doing things under the table. When I say under the table, illegal things that we weren't aware of until we actually took it upon ourselves to go to court and find out. The transparency, again, it's not available. You call, you know, and your other alternative is to call 311. So we're like Juan said, we're trying to educate the tenants and gather as much, empower ourselves to see what we can do. I filed for personal HP action, which I'm in court right now with them, and I'm going to stick to it. They keep adjourning it, but I'm sticking to it. And that's what I would like the entire building to do. We need to reach out to our political politicians and local politicians, our councilmen, which I've tried and I haven't gotten any response. I'm really disappointed about that. But we need someone to help out before this building goes back to what it was. 1980, this building didn't have a boiler. My firstborn was born, we slept in the kitchen. And that was the most craziest thing anybody could ever be subjected to.
Yeah.
All right. So we don't want when it's to go back to that, and it's on its way if we don't do anything about it.
How's Banana Kelly Improvement Association helping you guys out in the fight?
They've been very helpful. Coincidentally, they got us on Bronx Net, which is great. You know, we're trying to share this, you know, and there's other buildings. There's over 70 buildings that we have door knocked, that Moshe Stoll owns. We have knocked on 741 Hunts Point, 1135 West Farms, 810 Ritter. These are buildings that we have had virtual meetings and, you know, shared what we're going through. And it's Banana Kelly has been our backbone.
Are the tenants coming together on this? Are the tenants?
They have responded, you know, but if we're not consistent with the meetings and keeping everybody abreast of everything that's going on, if anything dies out. So that's why we're staying on top of this at this point. And I hope that this appearance here in Bronx Net will awake people up.
Yeah. Well,
I would
go ahead.
No, I would like to add something. What I want to say also is, like, we reached out to 311, HPD, AEP, like, we going through all correct avenues, and sometimes we feel like with our hands in the air because we're told just call 311, do this, and it's like everything gets postponed. These guys just weasel their way to sweep things under the rug, and we still stuck with our hands open, like we
Right.
did what we supposed to do. So now
Yeah.
we try to figure out how do we take things matters into our own hand. That's what we started the rent strike, and we're just like, even being on this, like we're just trying to let people know or give an awareness of, hey, this thing should not be this way. I've lived in
Sure.
other buildings, and I've seen the difference of being in a well-maintained building versus here. And it's just like, this is ridiculous, and I don't know how they're getting away with it.
Mm.
Exactly.
If you were able to speak to them, what would you tell them?
I've
We spoke
spoken
to them.
to them.
We
Yeah.
told them, hey, listen, you want they even asking people to start paying rent, and we said, hey, meet the demands that we ask, give people the correct amount on their leases, how they're supposed to
Exactly.
be. There's people with no leases here living month to month,
Yeah.
and they're afraid of getting kicked out or whatever. But when they ask for a lease, they're reluctant to give them a lease. So we told them, hey, get people's leases correct at
Right.
least, and then we can start releasing the funds. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because
Or
people are afraid. People are afraid of losing their apartment or what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be paying for something under these conditions. First of all, what they're doing is the way they're operating is illegal.
it's like it's like the old saying, no ticket, no laundry. You know, and it's like you want to work with us, we'll work together, but you know, on mutual grounds. We can't
Yeah.
just cave in, dive into your expectations and not worry about us, because it's ongoing. It's years,
Yeah.
as I said,
Yes.
58 years of this is really
Yeah.
I don't even know why we're still here. Of course,
Mhm.
because rent is really ridiculous out there.
Yep.
You know, one bedroom apartment runs like a good 13, 14, 1500. People can't afford that.
Ah.
You know,
Can you set up a
and
meeting with the tenants and say, hey, this is what we need. This is what we want. Can you meet us?
we
Can you start
exactly
something off?
we wrote a letter. I guess it got lost in transit or whatever. We're working on a demand letter that needed to be filed with Bronx Legal Services, and we're hoping that we can get. To be honest with you, we're not sure who the manager really is. We have an acting manager called EPP Management Corporation, and these people are, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're from the same bowl. The building is passed on from Moshe Stall to them, but they're all in the same bowl,
Mhm.
and we can't trust. They have pocketed money. They have duplicated rent. People are up to $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 in rent. As far as I'm concerned, the guidelines for housing, for you to be evicted, you should have been evicted a long time ago. So something's
Yeah.
going on.
Mhm.
Either they're pocketing the money, something's going, or they have the wrong accountant.
Yeah.
We want to know what's going on, and we've asked them, can we meet? To no avail. Have they responded to that?
Yeah. Well, perhaps you can get some other organizations to back you, and then reach out to some of those elected officials and see if we can get some help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is
Yeah,
what we're
I
trying
would
to do.
resend. I would resend that letter. I'll send it a couple of times, over and over. So what's next? Is there another course of action, legal action that you're prepared to take?
Well, as I said, we would try. I started a individual HP action. I want to be able to get everybody on board to do a building wide. We're doing everything to get all the information, get all the existing violations back into court as a building wide, you know, to get
Yeah.
it, with the intention to get some response, maybe bringing them back to court, and adding the fact that we're on Bronx Net, we're blowing their, their all their invisibility, however way you can say it. Maybe we'll get some response. So
Yeah.
it's a slow process, but we're head over heels with this now.
You have a
It's
website
unbelievable.
for it? A social media where people can follow you and
No, I know personally we
make
haven't, which
comments?
is a good idea. Juan is very good
Yeah.
at that. We'll probably discuss that afterwards. But
Yeah.
we attend the community council meetings on Wednesdays, and we just try to keep informed about what's going on, what to do, and how other people are living as well. So we just have to keep informing our sister buildings about what's going on. We do door knocking and just do a complete campaign not only for us, but for everybody else that's
For
going through
everybody, yeah.
this, you know.
Yeah.
Also,
So,
I'd like to add, also, if you don't mind me, I'm sorry, Debbie. I do want to say also, what one of my goals also is educating the tenants. So I right now, like I'm
Yeah.
already creating a sheet and giving them instructions on how to
right.
go to DHCR and how to find out your rent history and the
Yeah.
history of the apartment before, because that way you have some legs to stand on when you want to
Yeah.
speak to the
Exactly.
owner or whatever. Like at least you have the information documented. This is what
Yeah.
this is what the New York City says. This is where I'm at, and this is where I need to be.
Yeah.
I'm here. Like
Exactly.
it's
Well,
more about
well,
educating people than just telling them things. Because I noticed that if you just tell them something, they're like, I don't know.
yeah.
You need to find out, you need to
You
find
got
the information yourself, so you can
you got to
understand
keep
that
them.
we're not making this up. Yeah,
Yeah. You got to keep them in the know and keep the follow up going on.
yeah.
Listen,
Right.
thank you for coming on. You're always welcome to come on and share
Thank
more.
you for having us.
Hope
Mhm.
everything works out for you. You know, we're with you every step of the way. And, do
Thank
you
you.
have a social media set up where people can come on and find out more about what you're doing and what you want to do?
Well, we
Oh,
will.
we're
We
going to
don't have
work
it
on
yet,
that.
but we will.
We
I'm not gonna
will.
lie, we will.
Okay.
We
Well,
will.
thank you so much for coming on. All right. You're always welcome to come back.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right. Good luck to you.
All right.
Deborah Wilson, tenant spot for the Spofford Apartments, and Juan Reyes. He's with the Tenant Association also. All right. We'll take a quick break right here. We'll come back and continue to give it to you right here on Open.